Okay. Hello, everyone. Everyone that's on, everybody that's going to watch later. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a while. I have a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of things going on. Last week I was trying to go live, but prom is prom season, and I have my daughter's prom season. So I had a lot of stuff going on. The story I'm going to talk about, I wanted to talk about it Saturday because that was the day that the late Areanah Preston was supposed to graduate, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen because my daughter had prom, and I had a lot of stuff. I didn't know this prom thing. It took my whole day, so that's why I couldn't go live. But today I'm here. So we're gonna talk about Areanah Preston, the young lady that lost her life. Not a young lady, the young lady that was a cop that lost her life in Chicago. While getting off work, and she encountered some young men that took her life, and which was very unfortunate. So anyway, let me get this thing going. Oh, I'll pull up the article. Hello. Thank you. Oh, crap. Mm, Jeez. Okay, so this happened on March, not March. This happened on May 6th. On May 6th, so on May 6th, that's when it happened, the morning of May 6th. So let's read this article. It's from ABC 7 in Chicago. So charges against 4 teenagers. So they got the people that did this, they got them. The young men that did this, they got them. So charges against 4 teenagers in the fatal shooting of Officer Areanah Preston were announced by Chicago Police Interim Superintendent Eric Carter Wednesday morning. That was last Wednesday. So the interim superintendent Carter said the teen's 19-year-old Trevor Breland, I have their picture in the, what is that, thumbnail. 19-year-old Trevor Breland, 19-year-old Joseph Brooks, 18-year-old Jaquan Buchanan, and 16-year-old Jalen Frazier. The story first came out, and then they had first arrested these young men, they didn't put the 16-year-old name. They just said an unidentified 16-year-old. I think they did that because they probably hadn't decided if they were going to charge him as an adult. So after they decided to charge him as an adult, so that's when they put out his name. They haven't put out his picture yet that I could find. I only saw like those drawings that they do in the court when you can't go in the court. So that's what I found. Not really his picture, but I guess if you do really do, you'll find him. Anyway, so they charge him as an adult, and all of them are being charged with first degree murder, and as well as multiple counts of armed robbery, arson, burglary, possession of stolen vehicle, and unlawful use of weapon. I was like, why they getting charged with arson? But come to find out, the car that they had stolen, they actually burned it. So I guess to get rid of evidence. And I also heard that the it's alleged that the car that they had stolen was a Kia. And I'm wondering, was they doing I'm not sure if you know about the TikTok challenge about they were stealing people's Kias. So I'm not sure if it was a Kia, but different reports that I saw, they said that they did have a Kia. So hopefully that was not a part of, well, who knows? But it may have been. And this is the mother's talk. The mother, whose name is Dion Mahone, that's Ariana's mother. And she said she stand before you guys today as a mother, a heartbroken mother. And she said a mother that's full of anger, rage, and questions why. So the accused killers were part of a, oh, I need that light, were part of a five, oh, this might be too bright. Let me see. Interrupting my life, girl. Ooh, that's bright. Okay, I guess that's fine. Thank you. Oh, wow. Now you just turn off the light. Technical difficulties. Commercial break. And we're back. And we're back. Because you know when you say commercial break, you're actually supposed to move, and I was just still there, so I was like, let me just move my head to the side, and we're back. So at first they had, I guess they had arrested like 5 or 6 people, but at the end of, I guess when they finished questioning them, only those 4 young men were um, arrested and charged. So let's see what happened. So Carter says, that's the interim police chief superintendent. What was he again? Interim superintendent. Okay, for the police. So Carter said the suspects were out looking for victims late Friday night and Saturday morning. Now I'm not sure how true this is, but in article that I saw, it is said that this started because one of the suspects' girlfriend wanted to have a barbecue. And then I guess she told him she wanted to have a barbecue and he was supposed to give her some money. I don't know if he told her he had money or didn't have money. But so called, this all started from one of the girlfriends wanting to have a barbecue, and they went on a crime spree trying to get some money, allegedly. So this is not confirmed, but this is what is being said. But it's obviously, even if it wasn't for a barbecue, even if it wasn't for a barbecue, this young lady lost her life for no reason. These young men gonna spend the rest of their lives in prison for what? For nothing. It doesn't even make any sense. So let's continue reading. So the 4 suspects pulled up in a stolen vehicle as Officer Preston returned to her home in Avalon Park and ran toward her while armed. So she is, this is like around 1 o'clock in the morning. She is in uniform. They see her in uniform, but they pulled up on her to rob her. So that's already showing you these kids didn't grow up with any type of respect for police. And I know, there's a lot of stuff going on in Chicago with the police. A lot of people don't respect them. They don't trust them or whatever it may be. So, but that's still not an excuse, because no matter what other police there, because there are some corrupt polices, but then there are very good police. So one of the suspects opened fire at Preston, who returned fire. One of the suspects stole Officer Preston's gun before they fled in the stolen vehicle. So they just ran up on her. Maybe they asked her, you know, give me all your money or whatever they, whatever they say. I don't know, cause I don't be robbing people, okay? So I'm going by what they be doing on the movies. Give me all your money or whatever. And then she's a police and she's like, no, you ain't getting it for me. And then I guess they started you know firing at each other, and she got hit and said that she got hit above the breast. So probably all in this area, she got hit, and she went down. She went down. She went down fighting. She didn't. They did. It was not easy for them. This was not easy. Oh my goodness. Okay, here you go. Oh no, she didn't do that. She put up a fight, and unfortunately, she lost her life. So, but and then when I guess they got the best of her, because I don't know how much of them was firing at her, if it's one or two, but obviously they got the best of her. So when she went down, they ran. One of them ran up on her and stole her gun. No, just to in a sense show off like their trophy. That's like a trophy. Show off. Yeah, look at us. We took out the police, because I'm sure the firearms a police have is not like what the normal public will have, and then they end up selling that firearm also. So yeah, so they say prosecutor says she was shot both in face and neck, so all in the face. Wow. And if you see pictures of this young lady, beautiful young lady, in the face and the neck. So it might have hit a major artery, the bullet or the bullets, but in her face, in her neck. Wow. They wanted to make sure they were shooting. They wanted to make sure she was gone. So it says a shot spotter alert. So we know Chicago, and it looked like New Orleans is catching up to Chicago also, because New Orleans is, people are losing their lives too. But Chicago has a lot of those stuff going on. So I guess they have some type of technology that spots, that whatever detects shots for being fired. So it says a shot spotter alert went out at 1:42 a.m. It probably alerts the police, say there's shots being fired in a particular area. Probably may not give the precise area, but it's saying, there's an area that's shots being fired. At the same time Preston was shot, that same time she was shot. But court documents said police didn't immediately respond due to a backlog in the district. So the shot spotter, probably right when they was doing it, the shot spotter alert went off. Unfortunately, nobody showed up. Nobody came through. And it's obviously probably, probably when they first got the technology, it probably used to be ringing off. People probably used to be shooting for no reason or whatever. Who knows? Who knows why they took a long time, or they couldn't get to it. Maybe it's a process before they could, as there's is things that they have to go through to see if they should go out to this shots being fired. But unfortunately, they didn't leave right away. So surveillance video shows officer responding just after 2 a.m. So this happened. She got shot 1:42 a.m. The sputter alert probably happened within minutes, maybe within seconds, but the officers only responded after 2 a.m. And this is when they responded. Records show that her Apple Watch, this is Apple, I am not promoting for you, okay? Okay? It's just anything maybe I should say the red fruit. No. apples and other colors too. Whatever. Anyway, I ain't doing no commercial for y'all. Okay. So say her watch alerted that she had been involved in a car crash at that location. At that location. So she had the watch on her. So I guess when in the in the shootout, and then she fell, and probably with the impact, the watch maybe she fell and the watch broke or whatever. So I don't even know those watches do that. Hmm. Wow. Can't save you, but So when the watch sent off the alert, they probably sent off the alert to the police that she was involved with a car crash, probably from the impact of the fall when she fell to the ground after being shot. That's when they responded, and this was like after 2 a.m. So as police rushed their colleague to, I'm not sure if when the Apple Watch sends the signal, if it tells who the person is, but whatever yeah, I'm not sure if they exactly think of, but I guess when they pulled up on the scene, they saw that it was a police officer. It was one of them. So she was they rushed her to the hospitals, but she may have been gone already. She may have been gone already, but we don't know. And she was not, I believe she was not too far from her house. She was out in front of her house, I believe, when this happened. Yeah, I think she was in front of her house. So investigators said the four suspects torched the stolen car, sold Officer Preston's gun, and the youngest of the team called a friend to brag about their exploits. How did they get to find them out? Because not saying they probably wouldn't have solved it, but it would have took a long time before they solved this. It would have taken a while. I think it would have taken a while. But what made them get caught is because the younger one, because remember all the other ones is two 19-year-olds, is an 18-year-old, right? It's two 19-year-olds, is an 18-year-old, and then it's a 16-year-old that did this. Yep, two 19-year-olds, an 18-year-old, and a 16-year-old. The 16-year-old, the 16-year-old bragged to a friend. The 16-year-old went and bragged to that friend about, say, that was my work. Or he actually called a friend, say, did he hear about the officer being shot? And he told a friend that was his work. So I'm not sure if he was the one who was doing the shooting, or he was the one who pulled up on her and grabbed her gun. But he told this friend that that was my work. And this really pissed off the mother, because she was like, why would you say that? I mean, why would you say something like that? You could tell that really, really affected Ariana's mother when she heard that this person said that that was my work. Like, you taking out my daughter and you saying that's a work? That was a human being. That was my daughter. That was my children's sister. That was somebody's cousin. She was gonna be something in this life. So you could tell that really affected the mother. So the friend the friend actually went to the police and reported it. I'm not sure if they probably shared it with a parent, and the parent told them to go and tell the police or whatever. But the friend actually went to the police and tell them, this is what I know. And then the friend pulled out his phone, called the defendant, the 16-year-old, on speakerphone, and talked to him in front of the detectives. During the phone call, defendant Frazier made additional admissions to the robbery and shooting, including details that had not been released. So Sitama talking, because when you talk too much, when you finish say what you're supposed to say, then you start saying stuff you're not supposed to say. That's why you keep your words few as possible. So started saying stuff that wasn't even released. So certain things that happened, maybe it was at the scene or whatever, he started saying that. So I'm not sure. Hopefully, this will they won't throw out this like call, because he kind of didn't know that he was being recorded. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I applaud this young man, whoever it is, if it's a young girl or whatever, that they, you know, went to the police, because these young men was driving around. The police says that they have an extensive criminal history. So these are not some very good young men. So they could have put in their minds, you know what? Suppose they come after me. Suppose they try to take me out. They could have said that if they had shared with a parent, say, don't get in that, don't get involved in that. But they forgot all about that and went to the police. I applaud this young man and his family, that they, in a sense, put their neck out there so that they could get justice for Ariana. Because, not saying she probably wouldn't have got justice, but it would have taken a while. So the unintentional confession was just part of what prosecutors say was a large volume of evidence. So that's probably not the only evidence that they have. They have other things. So they have pod camera video and cell phone data. So they're probably gonna ping their cell phones. You know, they ping your cell phones to see if you were in the area around the time. So you're gonna have to explain. You know, they're not gonna tell you right away. They want to see if you're gonna lie and say, okay, why were you in this area? They're gonna ask you, where were you at 1:42 a.m.? Oh, I was sleeping. Oh, really? So why did your cell phone ping at Avalon Park at 1:42 a.m.? Oh, I don't know. My sister probably stayed. They already know you lying. They already know you lying. So so they have a bunch of other. They have ballistics. They have DNA evidence. So they have other things. So wow, they even had two women. They had two young ladies with them doing this crime spree, allegedly looking for money for barbecue, to do a barbecue. If this is true, if you want to do a barbecue, you don't got no money, you don't need to be doing a barbecue, okay? I don't know, like, why people like to do stuff and they can't afford it. They want to show off the people, and you don't got it. You don't got it. So allegedly this is what it's for, but the only way you're going to find out really is when they go to trial, and that's when you're going to find out if it was for barbecue. But allegedly it was for money for barbecue. It doesn't make any sense at all. So the mom, whose name is Dion Mahone, she says she prayed for their family, because but you can tell the mom is hurt, and of course, as she should, because she was saying that she was big on education. She told her daughters, because she had Ariana that lost her life, and then she has twins. She has two twin daughters, and she was big on education. And then this young lady was supposed to graduate Saturday. She was supposed to receive her master's in jurisprudence, which is philosophy of law. She was supposed to philosophy and theory of law. So she was supposed to receive her master's in philosophy and theory of law. She was supposed to graduate Saturday past. And she was not the only one who was supposed to graduate. She was graduating. One of her twin sisters was graduating. One of her, the mom said she adopted this young, like a daughter that she adopted. She was supposed to graduate, so they were supposed to have a big party May 27th. They was getting ready and stuff like that. And then for now, they have to be planning a funeral. So you see, the mom went up. They went with her picture. They went Saturday to receive her diploma, and then now they're gonna plan a funeral. I think they have a viewing Tuesday, and then they're gonna have the memorial service Wednesday, and they probably gonna have like a private funeral for the family. But since the public showed out, they probably want to have something public, so people could pay their respects to this young lady that lost her life for absolutely no reason. But she said she pushed education. This young lady, go look at her pictures. She wanted to be, I think she wanted to go into children and family law. She has the aesthetic to work in a law firm, as even as administrative assistant or whatever, front desk. She has the aesthetic, she has the beauty, she has to look at everything. But she decided to be a police. Her father said that's what she always wanted to do because she always wanted to, uh, um, serve, protect and serve the vulnerable people in the community. And then look what happened. That's so sad. That's sad because she could have been working for a lawyer, you know, getting started, getting ready, getting all the practice and experience because that's what she's gonna go into. But no, she decided to be a police, and she could have gone to like maybe a area in Chicago where it's like you don't have all this going on, but she decided to stay in in Chicago, and then she ended up losing her life. She ended up losing her life. That's very sad. Let's continue seeing. But look like the women that was with these young men, they cooperated. So I guess they gave them other things. So just in case, they would have throw out, they might throw out this confession, but they have other stuff that they got on these young men. So okay, one of the women now acting as a witness apparently came to the police attention when authorities attempted to tow her car from the crime scene. They left the car at the crime scene. You see, that's why the mom say, and I've always said this too. A lot of these kids, they don't think their lives have value. That's why they make the certain decisions that doesn't make any sense. They lose their lives over you like, even if it wasn't for a barbecue, even if it wasn't for a barbecue, but you losing your life, and then they make very dumb mistakes. So even if the friend didn't go and tell the police, one of the ladies they was with, she left her car at the crime scene. But when you do stuff, you see, when you do stuff, the Haitian proverb always say, the devil give you like a, how I say, like a can, but he doesn't give you a cover. He doesn't give you a cover. He'll give you a can, do this, you could do that, but he doesn't cover you. And that's how they get caught. In the Bible telling you, sin will find you anyway. So it doesn't make sense that this young lady lost her life, whether it was for a barbecue or not for a barbecue, but she lost her life for no reason. For no reason. Because a lot of these kids, they don't think their lives are worth anything. Because if you believe your life is worth something, you gonna, I'm gonna, no, I can't hang out with you guys. And this is the thing. All of them together, I don't know how much of them it was. Since it was four of them that got arrested, maybe it was six of them, seven of them. Maybe not all of them wanted to take her life. Just you guys don't. That's a police. Somebody's probably saying that's a police. Leave her alone. Let's go find somebody else. Ain't listening. Ain't listening, right? And then they pulled up, who the other hothead ones pulled up on Ariana, and then took her life. And then you say, why? Then you in the midst of them say, why? Y'all did that. Y'all didn't have to do that. You going to jail too, because you hanging out with people that did the crime. Because that's one thing about, you have to be careful who you hang out with. Be careful who you hang out with, because anything that happens, everybody gonna get charged just alike. Now, those other ladies, they didn't get charged because they probably cooperated and they probably wasn't, I don't know how what part they played in this thing, but they are cooperating as witnesses. So probably they gave some crucial information. That's probably why they didn't let them. They didn't charge them. But this doesn't make any sense at all. This doesn't make any sense at all. And it's when somebody's in a situation like this, and then you see how you raise your child to to do good, to be good, an asset to society, go to school, be respectable and stuff like that, and then your child end up losing their lives. their life. You end up losing your child. Why my child? Because that is like that's what's written all over them. Why my child? Why it had to be my child? You know, she was graduating. I heard she had just bought a house and stuff like that. She was doing things in life. Why my child? Why my child? Why they had to take out my child? But that's something those young men have to answer, because everybody, uh, um, stuff like that. People would blame, oh, but why God let stuff like this happen? We have to understand, God gives everybody free will, and He says that He placed in front of you blessings and curses, and He would urge you to choose blessings. He gave you life and death. He would urge you to choose life. Because even whether no matter what you decide to do in this life, God, you have your free will, but there's always going to be something in the back of your mind. I don't think you should do this. It's not going to be a good idea. You shouldn't do that. Don't go. Sometimes even before the person get into certain stuff, if people we sit down and talk to people, I knew I wasn't supposed to go with them today. Something told me not to go, but you still went out with them, and now you're going to jail. And then that might seem bragging rights for them, because they take all the Chicago cop and stuff like that. But as a human, we were not created to take out one another at all. So when you do take a life, you're haunted by that life, and especially an innocent life, that her blood is crying out for justice. Whenever somebody is taken out of this world innocently, they didn't have nothing. This young lady was coming off of work, and then she's coming off of work at that time, because remember, she was going to school. While she's working a night shift and going to school online, and probably having other classes. But during the day, she's doing online classes, probably doing work or whatever, because she's getting her master's and law. You have a lot of papers to write and stuff like that. So that's why she had that late shift. So she's doing the right thing. I'm going to school. I'm working. I'm trying to better my life, and then that's who gets taken up. That's who gets taken. And then the devil used those kids who don't value their lives, who because they don't value their life. Of course, they're not gonna value anybody else's life. Because if you don't have value for your life, you're not gonna value anybody else's life. Because that's number one. Remember why people just take out whatever, and then sometimes it's whatever evil that's roaming around. It's not looking to take out that whatever evil overtook them to do this. That evil inside of them was not looking for evil to take out. It's looking for the good. People that are doing something, that's going to do something in this world. That's what it's looking to take out. To take out out of this world, because it needs more and more evil in this world. It doesn't. It's looking for the good in people to take them out. This is such an unfortunate situation, and then it's very hard to forgive, but it is possible, because I was watching this. Just happened to come on my Instagram. What is that thing? But the last name is Kreiner. I think it's Takoya, because the person had a funny name. And Kreiner, and it was a police. He was a police. This happened in Jacksonville. This happened in 2002. So his son was in the back, with his best friend. They were smoking and stuff like that. And then I didn't really go into all the story, but Kreiner ended up killing these two best friends. And then the father, whose name was, I believe, I Brown, but his last name is Brown. He was a police. He was so angry. He was so angry when they found out this Kreiner guy was the one that did it. And when he went to court, and he was expecting him to hate this guy, to get revenge on him, because he took his son out. And he was like, when he saw the young man, he he loved him. For some reason he loved him. He said he even asked, he prayed to God and said, what is wrong with me? Why I don't hate this man? I supposed to hate this man. But for some reason he loved him. And it took years, I think years later, then he wrote this young man a letter in prison, and he asked them, he really missed his son, if he could do him a favor, if he could be his son, if he could be his son for him. And then he didn't know he was going to get a response from Kreiner, and Kreiner responded to him, and Kreiner was like, he had prayed to God and asked God if the father ever reached out to him, that he would give his life to God. And then that's what he ended up doing it. And then the father that lost his son, that this guy killed, he ended up adopting him. Like, he took him as his son. I want you to be my son. Certain stuff like that, that's God. Especially to lose a child in that manner, even if your child was not, nobody has no perfect child. There's no such thing as a perfect child. But to lose your child in that manner, and to know your child is gone because somebody decided to take them out, that's not easy to forgive. Some people, some people have that ability. As the mom says, that she prayed for the family. She feels sorry for them because nobody probably told them that their life had value. Nobody told them, they were worth something. So she kind of feels sorry for them, just like this man. He loved them, but sometimes it's not always like that. I don't want you to think that it's always like that. You're gonna be forgiven, stuff like that. Sometimes it's gonna take a work because the hurt is so deep. But you're gonna eventually have to forgive, because when you hold on to that hatred and that unforgiveness, that is why sometimes a lot of these diseases people have, they are linked to, because you have bitterness, you have resentment, you have hatred in your life, you have unforgiveness, in your life. There's certain ailments and sicknesses, some of them are linked to certain things we hold on to. And then sometimes that's why the enemy uses these people, because he's not only looking for the person that they take out, but a group of people. So now, if I could get you, even if I don't get to shoot you guys, but if I had let y'all hate these people that did this to your family member, hate them, so then some type of disease could come on you, open up yourself to that, then I get all these people going to hell. Whoo, I won. That's what the devil wants. That's what the devil wants. Because God cannot go against anybody's free will. He could, even if he could warn, say, don't do it, don't go, don't go. But at the end of the day, everybody has free will. Free, you get to decide to do good or to do evil. God wants you to do good, but he could never go against your will. And then this was these young men's will. For whatever reason, they wanted to go. And then remember, they was on a night. They spent the whole night. They started Friday night to Saturday morning doing all kind of stuff, robbing people, doing all kind of things. They was doing all kind of stuff until they pulled up on Areanah Preston. From Friday night to Saturday morning, because this happened Saturday morning at 1:42 a.m. They was on a crime spree, doing all kind of crazy stuff. And it's such an unfortunate situation. But I pray for the mom that one day that she could be able to forgive. You don't forget, but that she's able to forgive. It's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy, child. Because when you, and they say it get better. It get better with time. No, it doesn't. It does not get better with time, because as time passes, and then you haven't healed. As time passes, you haven't healed. It gets worse, because when you look out, wow, she was supposed to be 25 this time. Oh my goodness, she was supposed to be getting her doctorate, her Juris Doctorate. Oh wow, this was going to be her 1 year anniversary, just buying a house. Oh my goodness, she was supposed to be married by now. Oh my goodness, she's supposed to bring my. It does not get better with time. It does not, but it gets better with Jesus. It gets better with Jesus. But then that's even different, because some people find self, God, why did you let this happen? God cannot go against people's free will. Because if God wanted to, he could make everybody do the right thing all the time. Nothing bad never happens. But God gives us free will. He wants you to freely do what is right. Just like He wants you to freely serve Him. He's not going to force you. You must serve me. I don't care what you say. You must serve me right now. He could have did that, but He's not going to do that. He wants you to freely serve Him. He wants you to freely do what is right. He wants you to freely love your neighbor. He wants you to freely forgive. Because He could tell you, you need to forgive, you have to forgive, you have to let go. But He's never going to force you. That's somebody's free will. Those two young, one man, two men, whoever of them decided to do this thing, that's on them. That's what they decided to do because their lives was not they didn't think their lives was worth anything. Because if you like I said, if you think your life is worth something, is valuable, you're not going to make certain decisions. You're not going to hang out with certain people. You're not going to be out any time of day, any time of night. Because as we know, sometimes people look at the girl. I did the story on the other day. She's heard that she passed the nursing exam, went out to to parties, celebrate with a friend, end up losing her life, both her and her friend. And not saying that her life didn't have value, but somebody, some crazy person out there who just don't care, just took her out. And then now you have to be careful. But when you think your life have value, you're not gonna hang out with certain people who doing things like that, doing robbing people and stuff like that, because you might pull up on the rob. Thank God, I don't know exactly how she one of them didn't get shot too. And then people would say, yeah, that would be justice if they got shot. But that I'm 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 not sure about that because them being alive, that's gonna haunt them. Trust and believe. These young men are gonna be haunted for the rest of their life. They probably think they dapping it up. Wow, they got a cop and stuff like that. Oh, they bad and stuff like that. No, we were not. We were not supposed to take out each other. That's gonna haunt them and because this young lady was innocent, coming off of work. She was in nobody business. She wasn't messing with nobody. And then they decided to take your life. And then you think you're gonna be bragging about it in the prison courtyard and stuff like that. They're gonna be haunted. They will be. This will haunt them for the rest of their life. And even if they were to, because sometimes to deal is either the when they to deal with this type of guilt is either they accept Jesus Christ as their personal savior, or yeah, sometimes people be accepting Jesus Christ as personal savior to deal with guilt, or they go on medication to deal with the guilt and the torment. They're gonna be tormented. They will definitely, because this girl was innocent. She was coming out of a car, going pulling up to her home to go to sleep, and getting preparation ready for her graduation on that side that's coming up, because she died on May 6th. Her graduation was May 13th, and then they took her life. They will be tormented because you were not made to take people's life. And then I don't like to say, like I said, I don't like to say rest in peace, because she didn't plan on dying. That she didn't know this was gonna happen to her. So when something suddenly like this happened to a person, tragically, that this person really didn't go in peace. Unfortunately, they didn't. Yes, we could say rest in peace because that's what we used to doing, but that person really, because she had so much ahead of her. She had so much life to live. She had so much stuff to do, so much things to accomplish. I'm sure some stuff, things that she wanted to do for her mom, for all the sacrifices her mom and her dad did for her. All these things she not. Yes, her sisters can continue, but she wanted to do that. She wanted to go get her the degree. So sometimes it's the way the person goes. They didn't go. They didn't go peacefully. They didn't go peacefully at all. This is such a sad situation. I want to do, like I said, I want to do a story from Saturday, but I had a lot of stuff going on. But thank goodness they actually caught these young men. I mean, sometimes this is the only thing you could do is if you see certain people, I guess speak life to them. Say, your life is worth something. Maybe that one word, because I've had people have told me that. I told them something, and that stick to them. That's why one of the reasons why I came on YouTube, because somebody told me say it was one thing that I told them, and that played in their mind over and over again. Maybe you see certain people on the wrong path, speak life into them, because it's either we losing these young men to prison or to the gun. It's very unfortunate. These young men, 19 years old, your life over. Look at this one, 16 years old, your life is over. And then you bragging about it. And his mom came out, and the mom helped turn him in and stuff like that. And she's saying that her son life is over because it seems like he's dead. It may seem like he's dead, but he's not, because you're going to be able to still talk to him. You may not be able to touch him or whatever. I don't know how it goes, but he's still there. Areanah ain't here. She ain't here. And the 16-year-old is the only one that had a parent. Well, that I saw came out. Maybe the other ones just don't want to talk to the media. But anyway, that's all I had to say on this unfortunate, tragic situation that happened to this young lady. And as I said, her viewing, I'm not sure if they're gonna live stream it, but she's supposed to be having a viewing tomorrow, and then they're gonna have a memorial service on Wednesday. On Wednesday. So now, just like the mom say, it will always be something missing, because the different videos that I have, she was the life of the party. And like unity is all this, whatever evil is roaming around is looking for good, is looking for the life of the party, is looking for light, is looking for spark. That's why you have to be very careful in the time that you're living in. Certain places that you go, listen to your intuition. You have to be careful, because it's this evil just roaming around, seeking whom it may take out. And that's all I had to say on this situation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for whenever you're going to tune in. And I'll see you in another live. Hopefully, I'm able to go live this week. Yeah, because I have another prom. I have another prom this week, so I have a lot of stuff going on. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye.